It has been good to me this time around. Things were they were bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact and I can find no ribs. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and eras don't dictate. Well, hello and welcome to another fabulous episode of the Xander Gibb Show. I'm Xander Gibb because, let's face it, who else would I be? Broadcasting live to you from the nation's capital in the United Kingdom, bringing you the best in Patriot broadcasting. On the show tonight, my guests in part one, we have political commentator Mark Sutherland, and in part two, co-host of Freedom on Deck, the fabulous C.V. Berton. So I'm gonna switch over to my script so I can tell you some more information. So for those asking if I can tag you when the show begins, I can't do that. But if you go to the event, you can actually click for a reminder, and it will also allow you to be reminded every time I go live. So go and set that up there. I will, of course, be on The Real Side with Joe Messina tonight, 7 Pacific time. That's 9 Eastern, 10 Eastern. And you can also follow me on social media. Check me out at xandergibb.com. Now, we will be taking your calls later on in the show. 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. Let's come to the live feed and say a big hello to everyone in the live feed. Hello to Amy. Hello to Raymond. Hello to Chet. Hello to Susan Miller. Hello to, who else is there? Hello to Jacob Langford. How are you, buddy? Welcome to everybody that's watching and listening, but is not in the live feed. Come and join us because we don't bite. Well, so much has happened today. I was stalked by pole dancer, aka Stormy Daniels. It's official because I've made it now. When you've been stalked, it means you're a real celebrity. And she stalked me for merely sharing an article talking about how she retracted her allegations about the president. Now, we all know Stormy Daniels' real name is Stephanie Clifford. She attacked me, as I said, for basically protecting the president. I didn't even mention her name. I just shared an article. So she's got something going on where everything that is even related to her is being shared. Interesting that she's gone from a 2-bit hooker to a 3-bit hooker for her lies. So she said, you are too stupid to check the date on an article posted from over 2 years ago that contained BS statement written by Cohen, and is what finally made me come forward with a month later with my real story. Now you can weep. So I responded, stupid. Oh, Stephanie, the truth is not subject to expiration, LOL. I wouldn't waste pee on you. Never mind the likes, never mind tears on the likes of you, honey. But I believe Trump. Why would Donald Trump go for hamburgers when he has prime steak at home? You were used and you were a pawn. You are a pawn. So I actually said that to her today. Once again, congratulations to Boris Johnson, who had a baby this week. Well, not him personally, his partner, Carrie Simmons, did. They've got a beautiful baby boy. Now, there is some debate about the name. Apparently going to call it Wilfred. But there is some possibility that the middle name is going to be Xander. So the child's name would be Wilfred Xander Johnson. I don't know if I would inflict that on anybody, let alone the son of the leader of the United States. It's got the United States on the break. The son of the leader of the United Kingdom. Congratulations to Nadia Sawala from Loose Women and her husband Mark Adderley and their daughters Maddie and Kiki for reaching 100,000 followers on YouTube. Now, if you could just send a few my way, that would be good. You can follow them at the Sawala Adderleys, and if you are on YouTube, you can follow me at my production company page, which is Madrigal Media. Absolutely. That was my soapbox. If you want to get on yours, you can go to xandergibb.com/contact. That's xandergibb.com/contact. And tell me what you would like to get on the show and say. Chet is saying Facebook is ridiculous. Yes, I'm going to be on FOD, Freedom on Deck, next weekend. They're not giving out notifications. They're actually kicking people out as well. And then they have the audacity to ask me if I want to pay them for advertising. But, Facebook, if you're listening, my answer starts with F and ends with F and has UCCO in the middle. Now, we have got time for maybe one quick call. 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747 if you're in the United States. And if you're in the United Kingdom, you can Skype me at Xander Gibb because that's my name. So don't forget, 845-363-4747 if you're in the United States of America. Or if you are in England, mate, you can Skype me at Xander Gibb. Chet says Stormy Daniels sucks. I'm not sure if he means that literally or figuratively. Yeah, she did get very pissy with me, but I'm not gonna get too upset about it. Some two-bit hooker has a go at me. She's attacked the best of us. I mean, I'm in good company. She attacked the president too. So now she's attacking me. So maybe I should sue her for calling me stupid. I mean, they don't call me the Reverend Dr. Xander Gibb. Can't even say my name. The Reverend Dr. Xander Gibb for nothing. Chet says, I bet she goes into New York a lot. I would not know. Yes, Stormy is claiming it's fake news, but I don't really think it is fake news because, you can't retract your statement. And I stick by my statement when I said there's no expiration on the truth. So either it happened or it didn't. And if it didn't, then, why are you still pursuing this? I'll tell you why she's still pursuing this. She is pursuing this in order to make as much money as she can. So give us a call, 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. As you know, we are moving to 5 days a week from June 1st. So be sure to sign up with the Xander Gibb page, with the Xander Gibb Show page, because we'll be broadcasting from there, and we'll be moving into the studio from June 1st. Too. So lots to look forward to. Hello to the lovely Morgan. I hope you are all well. Hello to Ron. Welcome to the show. Susan says, I got to hop off in a while for a conference call out of state. That's interesting. I wonder who you're having a conference call with. Chip Martin says she's a hooker, but I don't think he was talking about Susan. I think he's talking about Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels. So got time for a very quick call, 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. I keep forgetting there's a delay between what I'm broadcasting and what actually comes out. I'm hoping this is going out on YouTube because I will be very mad if Restream have messed this up because we start paying for Restream very soon and it does not bode well, Restream. If you are watching, if you're going to be giving me this level of service when, in all honesty, I could be getting better. Yes, sirree. Last chance for a call. Kate Cribb says she wants to shout out for Liam and the hairs on fleek, whatever that means. Susan says, I am Stormy Xander. Yeah, somebody told me the other day I was, what's that guy who was involved in all the Carol Baskin stuff? There's a documentary from him. not Wild Xander, whatever it's called, the guy. No, I can't think of his name. So yes, get those hairs shaved on your fleek, Liam Cribb, because they're bugging your wife and you don't want her to divorce you. So we got time for maybe one quick call. Hi, Maria. Welcome to the show. I hope the world is good with you. I hope the world is good with all of you during this lockdown time. It has been a very dark time for all of us, but I have a feeling that things are gonna, perk up next week. I saw that armed protesters had gone to was it Michigan recently? No, maybe it was somewhere else. I want it to be Michigan, just from the perspective that the governor there is a Nazi. She's like this, and all she needs is the jackboots, but they're on back order from Amazon. But we will. Joe Exotic, that's the one. Hi to Becky. How are you? Hope the world is good with you, my lovely. Yes, Joe Exotic. People are calling me Xander Exotic because I'm a bit addicted to Snapchat. So when I see these things out there, these new Snapchat apps, I have to kind of make a picture of them. But I enjoy it. I'm having fun. Kate says she's in stitches and to stay safe. You too. Kate is a fabulous singer. We should. I'm going to start doing some more Instagram shows when we go into the studio, and hopefully I'll get her to come in and sing on one of the Xander Chat shows on the Instagram Live. We have a family of amazing singers, and my niece Vicky is a good singer too. She's amazing. She's going to be releasing a record this year, but we'll tell you more about that later on. Ron says, not been such a bad time as I've been a prepper for times such as this, so I have everything I need. I really wish that I'd been a bit of a prepper and I won't be caught with my pants down again. And I'm talking figuratively, not literally, folks, because I'm going to start growing my own vegetables when I move, because I don't think we should none of us be ever caught in this situation again. I mean, imagine being caught without toilet paper. Chet says, don't play with any tigers. No, I've played with a few lions, Chet, but never any tigers. They scratch really deep. They really, really do. Let's go backwards a little bit in the timeline, make sure I've not missed anybody out. Susan said, all over the country today, Xander, the socialists protesting to have to pay back rent. I think it's a concern. Landlords of businesses too. There's got to be a way for everybody to kind of be okay and have and get the money that they need. Apparently, someone just inboxed me and said I'm too mean about Joe Exotic. I never said anything mean about Joe Exotic. Out of the corner of my eye, though, I can see Caitlyn Jenner. She's being interviewed on British television right now, and her voice is deeper than mine. I do like Caitlyn Jenner. I do respect Caitlyn Jenner, and here we go. So my first guest is now on the line. His name is Mark Sutherland, and he is a political commentator from the United Kingdom, and he joins us live from the nation's capital. How is the world with you, Mark?
It's extremely well, thank you, Xander.
Good.
Considering all the nonsense going on.
So tell me, in your part of the country, are they lining up for bread and milk and all of these things?
Yes, I mean, I'm not necessarily right now in my usual part of the country. I've managed to escape, but let's not tell the forces of evil that.
No.
Yes, they are.
I know exactly who you mean too, but we will not dwell on that.
We will not dwell on that.
Absolutely. So let's jump right in to the first topic. So the Orange County District Attorney's Office warned residents that 7 high-risk sex offenders. We're getting some feedback there. Don't know what you did, but we're getting an echo.
Okay. I'm having to call from my phone because My computer's completely and utterly playing up, so I do apologise.
No problem. So these 6 sex offenders have been released. 7 sex offenders have been released months early as part of the efforts California is trying to do to slow the spread of the coronavirus in jails. They've made a statement saying these kind of high-risk sex offenders are the most dangerous kind of criminal and the most likely to reoffend. They are doing everything they can to avoid detection by the parole officers assigned to monitor them so they can potentially commit additional offenses. Now, these are not the kind of people who should be getting a break. The sex offenders convicted of crimes ranging from indecent exposure and sexual battery to child molestation were released beginning April 7th, in the week beginning April 7th, many of them spending just days behind bars instead of 6 months required by law for registered sex offenders who violate parole by removing or disabling GPS monitors. Now, this is interesting given the fact that they want to send 67-year-old Roger Stone Jr. to jail for merely supporting the president. Now, what's your first response to this, Mark, and how does it make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel very angry because Roger Stone should not be going to jail, period.
Right.
I've had the absolute privilege to personally meet the man. I mean, in regard to also the sex offenders, it makes me even more livid.
Yeah.
No, as far as I'm concerned, they should not be released. Sorry, period. And the fact that 6 months, well, there needs to be far more in regard to not registering in regard to parole. I mean, the whole thing is utterly, utterly mad. And if they end up being a repeat offender for being let out, then Orange County Jail, bloody blah, California should be held responsible for that.
Yeah. So it doesn't, this is happening in other states too. Yeah, Chet just said that it's happening in New York too, that Cuomo is freeing rapists. So surely any crime that is committed by these guys upon their release is down to the governor. Both Cuomo and Gavin Newsom are responsible for the crimes committed by these people when they get out of jail. Surely.
You mean the two people that were recently on? We're having a conference call with Bill Clinton and the Global Clinton Foundation initiative of nonsense, where we want to appoint special tracers to find out if people have this virus or not, and we start behaving like a communist state.
Yeah.
This is who we are dealing with, and they are doing whatever they can to turn America upside down and cause total and utter mayhem morally and economically, and do whatever they can to destroy the presidency of Donald J. Trump. This is what this is all about.
Absolutely.
What they would do, they'll end up trying to blame him. And just quickly, we know, we're just finding out, as we've always known, what the FBI did in regard to General Flynn. The actual government of America against him declaring war, where things have been weaponized, where this cabal creating this soft coup. It's all part of this same story, Xander. And yes, it makes me utterly furious.
Absolutely, and me too. And you hit the nail on the head there, Mark. This is all about, and I even think, I actually saw a video today where someone in the UK, a high-ranking medical officer, saying that every death that was occurring was actually just recorded as COVID-19 as a matter of course now. So nobody in 2020, either in the United Kingdom or the United States, have died of natural causes. So how do we ever get a realistic picture of what's going on? And as an extension of this, what this means is that we're on lockdown for longer, and it's a reason to blame both the president and the leader of the United Kingdom, Boris Johnson.
Well, the whole thing's a joke. When we look at the vaccine panel in the UK, let's just say it. We need to trace who they are in regard to their relationship with Bill Gates, and you'll find that most of them have it. Then when we look at this, let's go there. Let's absolutely go there. This is a matter of life and death. This is a fight between good and evil, and if no one has, this is a massive, massive spiritual battle. And all I can advise people as well, if they haven't sorted out their relationship with Christ, then do it now.
Yes.
Because this is the huge battle that we are in. We have a UK medical officer, Whitty, standing up there. He received £31 million from the Bill Gates Foundation in regard to his work in Africa, malaria. That's another discussion. But do not tell me that he and others, that suddenly there are favours being asked. This is huge. Neil Ferguson has got all the projection numbers wrong over here. Fauci has got all the projection numbers wrong over here. Fauci needs to be in jail for crimes against humanity. Dr. Shiva and Buttar and the incredibly brave Judy Mikovits are calling for that. Judy Mikovits, the woman that basically Fauci put in jail and ruined her career, a brave woman. This has to be said. Neil Ferguson over here with the Imperial College has got all the projections wrong with the bird flu, etc., including costing the economy of this country 10 million over foot and mouth. We have been 100%, as far as I'm concerned, So this is a pandemic.
It absolutely is a pandemic, but what direction is it going in? Because already our civil rights have been affected, both sides of the pond. You may have heard me alluding to the fact in the preamble that there have been armed demonstrations in the United States. But I kind of feel that Donald Trump is between a rock and a hard place right now, because if he sends people back to work and starts a normality and they make it look like there's an increase in infections after that, this is probably going to have some impact on the election.
Let's just say this. Something was released from a laboratory, a level 4 laboratory in Wuhan. Yeah, I totally and utterly accept that. Something was released. But I tell you what, in 2014, Fauci oversees a 3.75 million grant to that laboratory, which was an illegal act because various people in America said you cannot pursue this kind of virology study in this country. This is not the right thing to do. There will be a pandemic that we will cause. Of course, and Fauci said that in 2017 when he said the Trump administration would have to actually face that. Frankly, it's nothing worse. I'm going to say this, and people can, have a go at me or say whatever. You're absolutely right. Death certificates on the other side of the Atlantic and on this side, they are being fiddled.
Right.
Period. Everything is COVID-19. That's what this putting down. We need to open up this economy now and the American economy straight away. This is the utopian dream of the left and the New World Order, and I'm not making that up. And they are going for broke, and that's what is happening.
But how long do you think that they can do this? How much longer do you think that they can do this for without some kind of uprising?
Well, personally, as far as I'm concerned, having seen people go into Michigan, good. We need America to lead the way. Of course, America has a constitution. The First Amendment is protected by the Second Amendment. Yeah. That's why they're so anti-gun. Various liberals anti-gun in America. We know that. Over here, it seems a lot more difficult, but there are things happening. And in a way, various, letters going in, all right, it's only a letter, but there's certain confrontations happening, and people are doing whatever they can to reach. And frankly, we do need a demonstration in this country. I will say it. We need a very peaceful demonstration.
We do.
I'm not cool advocating violence whatsoever.
No.
But is an abuse. There is a difference between laws and rules, and the police have been asked to instigate various rules, which they have done in certain cases ridiculously, and OTT.
Right.
The issue is we don't have time to do this, and it'd be interesting to get various doctors on. Whether you can catch a virus, no. I'm just going to throw that out and cause even more controversy. That needs to be looked at. But it's our civil rights, and more importantly, is how we in the UK have just rolled over and gone, yes, that's fine.
Yeah, we have.
Our wonderful journalist Peter Hitchens, our wonderful other journalist Brendan O'Neill from Spite have been speaking out and speaking out and speaking out on this. We have to end up going to Sky Australia to get some balanced news about what's happening.
There is no balance
in this country.
And even on YouTube, they're actually blocking people that say that the coronavirus is a hoax. I mean, I don't personally believe it is a hoax. I think the response is a hoax, and I think it's far overreaching. Because the
Absolutely.
difference between this and any other viruses, like with the flu, I could get it, the kids can get it, everyone can get it. So why are children not getting this virus? Why are people afraid to speak out? And how long will we be in internment camps before we speak out? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, that's a very fair point. And why are hospitals up and down this country empty, including the new hospitals?
Yeah.
I mean, on another occasion, and maybe fairly soon, we need to discuss also the rollout of new technology in regard to 5G. Am I saying that 5G causes coronavirus? No. Am I saying that 5G is a health hazard? Yes, it is.
But
it's borne out. That's why the Russians won't use it.
Right.
Keep it as a weapon.
But isn't there an interesting correlation when you overlay the areas where 5G is with the highest rates of infections in the United States? So you can't tell me that there isn't some connection. You know, we've both talked about, you know, in the 70s when kids were getting cancer because they lived near electricity pylons and things of that ilk. So, you know, one person hurt or killed because of that is one too many, and it's all about money. So they need to look at this. Now, I want to move on to the next segment now, because I want to talk about Brexit, because I really am sick to death of talking about the coronavirus, in all honesty, because Brexit trade negotiations face collapse unless the EU abandons its demands for continued access to UK fishing waters. Sources close to the talks have said. Now, Brussels has called for EU boats to keep access under existing conditions as a price for the free trade agreement being negotiated by the two sides. Now, the UK insists any fishing agreement must be separate from the trade deal, and I agree with that, with access negotiated annually in similar fashion to Norway's agreement with the bloc. Now, a UK source said, close to the negotiations, said the EU's red line would need to change, otherwise the talks could be terminated in June. There are some fundamentals that we're not going to change, nor going to move on, because they are not so much negotiating positions as they are sort of what an independent state does, the source said. Now, Boris has vowed not to extend the transition period, despite the EU being ready to negotiate a delay, and despite the risk of the UK failing to agree a deal in time, which would mean trading on less advantageous WTO terms. Now, is the EU still holding the UK to ransom? And is this fair to the fishing industry that they've killed and could be revived?
No, it's not fair to the fishing industry. The fact is, in 1973, when we went into the EU, we have to remind ourselves of this, is that Ted Heath, as he was leading up negotiations for taking us in, had deliberately sacrificed the British fishing industry. And there's a very infamous conversation. Mr. Heath, do you realise this was sacrificed fishing industry? How many people involved in the fishing industry? 18,000. Well, that's an insignificant vote. Which he didn't correlate was, you know, the families, all the other businesses that go around there in regard to shipbuilding and all the rest, and all the add-ons. He couldn't give an absolute monkey, because part of the deal of going in is that our fishing industry would be destroyed. Right. And as far as I'm concerned, and there are the technology now and how other European countries fish sonically, etc., is frightening. Yeah. The size of these boats and hoovering up our fish. These are our fishing waters, and they need to be defended. And maybe out of this pandemic, we'll end up building far more Navy ships to defend our waters. I do not think, as Boris said, he won't extend this. He must not, and he must not go.
Even if it means,
Barnier needs to be. Frankly, we need to scare him witless. Right. This is going to be brinkmanship.
Absolutely, even if this means a deal-less Brexit. Because I remember the first thing Emmanuel Macron said, "Oh, but you must still let us fish in your waters." No way. Because the EU agreements have never been in favor of the British fishermen or the UK. You know, members of my family have been bankrupted because of those rules. And the concern is that they did give bailouts and things like that. But the only reason they were giving all these subsidies, like, to farmers and stuff like that, was so that they could bring us to a brink of dependency, and that's of concern to me. This mirrors what's happened in China. We can thank Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and George Bush for all of the medication being produced for the United States in China and various other electronic goods. We need to bring these industries back to the United States and the United Kingdom, and we have to stop being so reliant on other countries providing stuff for us, especially food. The thing is that if one thing this pandemic has shown us is that we need to be able to have a sustainable source of food within our own countries.
So, Xander, you're absolutely right, because it's down to this nationalism and globalism. I like all the countries in Europe, but I'm a nationalist. I love my country and I love all the other separate nations. And I'll tell you something, whether we have the European Union, because I would never have thought that a virus would have destroyed the European Union. And frankly, I believe it's finished. You look at the attitude in regard to what's happened in Spain and Italy, and how the Germans and the French, because they can't agree diddly squat, and how they've actually treated them. Now Macron wants to become leader of the world. It's finished as far as I'm concerned. And no, we're not going to give our fishing rights. And Barney, as far as I'm concerned, you can just go and swing a swivel. Go away. We now need, as I say, we had civil servants trying to sell us out, and that mustn't happen again under this government.
Of course, Theresa May tried to sell us out to the EU, and because the UK wasn't having it, that's why she ended up without a job. Well, I have two words for Emmanuel Macron. Encule-moi. And if you speak French, you will know what that means, and I think it's very apt. We are at the end of our time together, Mark, but tell people where they can find you, where they can find out more about you, and maybe invite you on their shows, etc.
Well, that is very kind of you. They can find me at marksutherland.org, which is my new website, which I'm very pleased is gathering a pace in building that. There's a contact form on there. You can get me. And at the moment, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter. It's at the Sutherland Report, RPT, just Sutherland RPT. I've been banned from doing Facebook Lives because Facebook doesn't like why I've been.
No.
Yes.
No, they've been doing similar things to me. I get a broadcast report from Restream after every show, and the correlation between how many people actually listen and how many watch and how many they record. So they are still stifling conservatives and conservative voices, and it's time we did something about that. Listen, guys, I heartily recommend that you have Mark on your show. Chet, Mark would be great on your show if he hasn't already been on.
I'm on Freedom on Deck tomorrow night, so I look forward to being on. All right.
Brilliant. Well, listen, thank you so much, Mark. Have a great weekend wherever you are in your secluded location with the Queen and Prince Philip. I let it slip, and we will speak to you again very soon.
And I'll speak to you soon. God bless, my friend.
Thanks a lot, brother. Take care. Bye-bye. That was Mark Sutherland. Make sure you check him out at marksutherland.org. I will make sure we include the new web address on the next mail out. Darcy says, right on, Xander. What is said about the USA is that we the people have become fat and lazy. Not me, I've lost 140 pounds. And want to work. We did it to ourselves, having China take over with all their imports. We did indeed, and it is a concern. Hi to Pat. I hope you're good. Hi to my Gina. Didn't get a chance to say hello to you. My next guest, who should be calling in any minute, is CV Berton. He's co-host from Freedom on Jack, Freedom on deck. I have the wrong teeth in today. It's because I've been fighting with Stormy Daniels. And joins us next to break down this week's hottest topics. Yeah, Facebook is being really jerky. They're not letting people share the show. They're kicking them out of the feed. They're not showing the true number of people in the feed and the true number of people listening and watching. And it's ridiculous. So please join me in welcoming back to the Xander Gibb Show, the one, the only, the fabulous Mr. C.V. Berton. How is the world with you, sir?
It's a ghost town. How is it with you?
It's a ghost town here, too, and I'm hoping it comes to an end very soon because I want to go for brunch, you know? I want to go for brunch with my girlfriends. I want to go and have fish and chips on the pier.
I thought you wanted to go to brunch with me.
Well, if you were local, we could, but I wouldn't call you a girlfriend because I wouldn't want to offend your wife. Or Chet, because I know you're Chet's girlfriend. So, you know, I have to be... Absolutely. So let's jump right in, brother. So presumptive Democratic presidential but dementing nominee Joe Biden, in a statement early today, denied allegations of sexual assault made by former Senate staffer addressing the matter publicly for the first time. Now, in March, Tara Reid, former aide who worked with Biden in his Senate office, alleged that in the spring of 1993, he cornered her in a hallway, reached under her skirt, and digitally penetrated her. I had to think twice about what digital penetration was, because I was thinking in terms of, you know, digital phones, without her consent. Now, in a statement emailed to the media, Biden categorically said those events did not happen. They aren't true. This never happened. And the statement read, while details of these allegations of sexual harassment and sexual assault are complicated, the two things are not complicated. One is that women deserve to be treated with dignity and respect, and when they step forward, they should be heard, not silenced. So why are you trying to silence her then, Joe? Anyone would think that you are running for office. And as an addendum to this, I found out as we were going to air that the New York Times have also stated this week that they, in no uncertain terms, did not clear Biden of sexual assault. So what's your response to this? Because the whole Me Too movement is kind of getting on my tits, really, from the perspective of if anybody accuses a Republican, it's all out, you know, Me Too, believe her. But as soon as anyone accuses a Democrat, there is this level of disdain and it never happened kind of thing.
Yeah, and then he cites the people that were working with him at the time in his Senate office, and they all say, no, we didn't get any complaint. He's innocent. We didn't hear anything bad about him. Well, that's like you getting your friends to testify for you in a court of law.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course they're going to say that. But you know, when you have her mother calling Larry King in 1993.
Yeah.
What were they planning on dropping the bomb on him in 2020, way back in 1993, which was what, like almost 30 years ago?
Exactly. They've saved it just for this, you know, just like Christine Blasey Ford or whatever the hell her name is. You see, I don't get that. You know, Democrats were all ready to kind of believe Christine Blasey Ford without a shred of evidence, just her say. And the thing is that I'm kind of torn because it's kind of like the boy that cried wolf. You know, in some circumstances, women have said that they were raped or sexually harassed when that did not happen. So it makes it problematic for all women that come along and say, I've been raped or sexual assaulted. And on the face of it, I think we should always try and listen to what they have to say, because we can't have it always. Yeah. Otherwise, the Me Too movement has to shut down. So you can't distinguish between an allegation against a Democrat and against a Republican and expect that to be okay.
Well, I have a theory about this. I'm going to try to articulate it the best I can because it's a little bit complicated. But I believe that the left have this this policy or this unwritten law that if you hit on a woman and she doesn't like you and she doesn't want to be hit on, that's sexual harassment.
Right.
Then the human resources in your company will call you into the office and you will get reamed and maybe even fired if you ask a girl out for a cup of coffee and she didn't like you, she didn't reciprocate. So you're supposed to be a mind reader now.
Yeah.
And the other part of the equation is the idea the left use regulations and laws and unwritten laws as a way to beat their enemies over the head with.
Yes.
And it only is supposed to apply to people that you don't like or people that you don't agree with.
Right.
And it's sort of like, the left have this like sexual revolution thing going around where girls walk around with their tits half hanging out of their shirts and they're shaking their asses around and they're trying to look beautiful and they look like sluts and they look like whores.
Right.
And they're walking around and they're trying to turn people on and they can have sex anytime they want, anywhere they want, and that's all great and good. But if somebody holds the door open for them that they don't like, oh, you're fired. So it's sort of like the Venus flytrap theory,
right?
Where it looks sweet, it looks delicious, and you want to land on it, and you want a taste of her nectar.
But you're not condoning.
If you're the wrong kind of fly, it snaps on you,
right?
And they eat you up.
But you're not saying that's an acceptable reason for someone to be raped. Just let's make that clear for the listeners. You're not saying because dressing provocatively.
What he did right was that he's a Democrat, so none of this applies to him. But one thing he did wrong was he should have asked her out for a cup of coffee first.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that would only be nice.
Do you know the thing I'm most disappointed in? Hi to Anne and hi to Karen, by the way. The thing I'm most disappointed in is that he didn't sniff her hair. I mean, maybe she wasn't that important to him.
He probably sniffed her hair. She doesn't remember everything. I mean, it was 30 years ago.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, who do we think she is? Remembering everything from over 30 years ago. Christine Blasey Ford or something. I don't remember what I did 30 minutes ago. I go into the kitchen sometimes and think, what the hell did I come in here for? Never mind 30 years ago. I'm looking for the remote and I'm like, oh, the remote is here. So don't tell me that you remember, word for word for 30 years ago. I want to ask you though, CV, do you think that this is going to affect his candidacy? Do you think that this is going to be a reason for them to pull him out and put in Michelle Obama?
It may not be the reason, but it's definitely a reason.
Right.
I mean, he's got so many skeletons in his closet, with China and now this, the fact that he's barely lucid anymore.
Yeah.
He can't speak a cohesive sentence like I can. I'm just kidding.
Like I do.
He's got a lot going against him.
Yeah, I saw him in an interview. I don't know if it was from today or yesterday, with Mika Brzezinski or whatever the hell her name is now, because she gets married to someone different every day. But he couldn't even understand the question he was being asked. Now, to me, this is so unfair for the Democrats to be putting him out there and making him look so stupid. Why is his wife not saying, come on, my husband has a problem, and I don't mean the sniffing hair and raping people, I mean that clearly he's got some cognitive issues. And out of respect for Joe Biden, I vehemently disagree with his policies and political ideologies, but just from a human perspective, don't they need to give the guy a break? Shouldn't he just be at home sniffing his grandchildren's hair or something?
Well, I have two answers for that. One is, at this point, they're just going along with it just in case they get lucky. If Trump crashes and burns or something happens to him, then they're in like Flynn. They got it made. If they can only maybe assassinate Donald Trump or something, or attack our country with bioweapons. Oh wait, they already tried that.
Yeah, exactly.
But the other thing is, I forgot what my second point was. All right, never mind.
Well,
not important. If I don't remember, it's not important.
Well, we can use that. We can use that as a segue with regards to firing weapons to talk a little bit about North Korea.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Go ahead.
I remember what it is.
Go ahead.
If I have time.
You haven't got Alzheimer's or anything, have you, going on there, CV?
The deep state wanted what? I'm sorry?
You haven't got Alzheimer's going on or dementia or anything? You're forgetting your point.
Yeah, I have a little bit of dementia myself, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think the deep state wanted Joe Biden to be the candidate to give their narrative some credence about the Ukraine phone call situation.
Yeah.
Where they were trying to say that Trump was trying to collude with Ukraine to dig up dirt on his political enemy. And at the time, I laughed. I said, he's not even going to get the nomination. This guy is nowhere near is he a threat. And then all of a sudden, they rigged the game, and then they put him in. I don't know how they did it. They just told everybody to stand down. They told everybody to stand down. It's like Barack Obama was back. Barack Obama was the stand-down president. You notice that was his favorite phrase, stand down, stand down?
Yeah.
He told everybody to stand down because they wanted Joe Biden in there to lend some kind of credence to their ridiculous theory about that Ukraine phone call. Okay, that's it.
Absolutely.
You want to go to the next topic?
Yes, yeah. But just before we do, I don't believe that Bernie left without getting a summer house out of it. I think he only ran for the payoff. I really do. I know Bernie listens to the show, so hello, Bernie. So North Korea, over the past few years, Kim Yo-jong, imagine everybody in the family being called Kim, has emerged as a key figure in Pyongyang's opaque architecture of power. Now, she is the younger sister of Supreme Leader, gotta bow my head when I say that, Kim Jong-un, and the only one of his siblings considered a close, powerful ally. Kim Yo-jong, I have to look twice at the name. Kim Yo-jong first gained international attention in 2018 when she was the first member of the Kim dynasty to visit South Korea. She was part of the delegation in the Winter Olympics where North and South Korea competed as a joint team. Now, the 2018 thaw, which followed, saw her working alongside her brother as he set off an international diplomacy path, meeting South Korean President Moon Jae-in and China's Xi Jinping, and most importantly, U.S. President Donald J. Trump. Now, the close relationship her brother and her increasingly senior roles in the political apparatus put her once again in focus in 2020 during a period when Kim Jong-un seemed unusually long absent from any public events. Now, speculation that he might be unwell or even dead have put her among the top ranks of people to succeed him. She's rumored to be married to the son of Cho Ryong-hae, all these fabulous names, the powerful party secretary and Kim Jong-un's second in command. Now, if true, that would give her a significant status. Now, will the U.S. and North Korea's relationship be affected or damaged by a shift in leadership, or will she see the value of continued attempts to get on with the Donald?
Okay, is that a question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The thing is, with North Koreans, with us, our surname is at the end. In North Korea, their surname is in the beginning, so their surname is Kim.
Oh,
so
I see. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it starts with Kim. It's sort of like his first name is Un. He's like the Un Cola. Otherwise, I mean, if I'm wrong, then they're all bartenders because all bartenders are named Kim.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But, and you do realize you'll be on his hit list if you have got it wrong.
Could you repeat your question?
I could, for $50. The question was, will the U.S. and North Korea's relationship be affected by a shift in leadership, or will she, as in his sister, whose name I can't remember now, see value in the continued attempts to get on with Donald Trump?
I believe that this could be potentially bad because Donald Trump developed a great relationship with Kim Jong-un, and now we have to face all these unknowns. You know, I think his sister could potentially be more ruthless and cruel than her brother, and she's certainly more attractive than her brother. She may only be his half sister, for all I know.
Well, that's a little sexist, CV. Some of us might like that roly-poly shaved head look. I'm joking, of course.
Well, she's not roly-poly. I think she's attractive, which reminds me.
The brother is
of the immortal words. It reminds me of the immortal words of Prince. The beautiful ones will hurt you every time.
Yeah. Yeah, she is.
But you know, the other thing is.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say she is very attractive.
No, go ahead.
She is very attractive. However, you know, you really wouldn't want to turn your back on her.
Even to you, and that's saying something.
Even to me, you know, she's even giving me the chills, dude. But yeah, she is a good-looking woman. But I've heard things about her that she's more ruthless than her brother. And I don't know, but maybe she could surprise us and really kind of turn this around. And if he is dead, because, you know, obviously the world goes into turmoil to think who the next evil dictator is going to be. And it's this, you know, pretty girl who says, you know, off with their heads, basically.
Yeah, and the timing is also the timing is very suspicious because, you know, you have this bioweapon that gets released by China. They allow it to escape on purpose. It takes down our economy. Next thing you know, Kim Jong-un disappears around the same time. I mean, it's like this. They're making a big power play.
Right.
You know, Kim Jong-un was working too well with Donald Trump, and they didn't want that because they're getting their asses kicked.
Yeah,
by Donald Trump because he's a master negotiator, and you know, he wants it to be fair for everybody, but they don't want fair. They don't want fair. They like to cheat because they don't even have the confidence in their own abilities.
No, are you talking about
to compete with us?
Are you talking about the North Koreans now, or are you you've moved on to the Democrats? Because I wasn't sure.
I'm talking about the Chinese Communist Party.
Right.
Does not have the confidence to compete with us fairly, and the Democrats also do not have the confidence to compete with us fairly.
Absolutely,
That's why they have to disguise who they are.
Exactly, which is why I drew the correlation. I don't know.
There's a lot of things. So go ahead. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Carry on.
No. I was saying you carry on because I wasn't able to hear you.
Okay. Well, let's stop this love fest because we are coming to the end of our time together. You are, of course, a co-host on Freedom on Deck. I know one of your guests this weekend is the guy who is my guest tonight, Mark Sutherland. Who else have you got on the show?
Yep. I don't know. Chet books the guests.
Chet, sack him.
Chet is a great interviewer, though.
Yeah, but you are too. Chet, you really gotta fire this guy if he doesn't know who the guests are, and he's coming on the show, and he's not gonna plug the guests. I'm joking, of course.
Well, I can't collect unemployment because they don't pay me.
No, exactly. Well, you know, the thing is that because we've got this delay, people don't know if it's awkward silence or if it's delay, but it is just delay.
Well, can I finish?
Yeah,
can I finish
sure.
my last point?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on at the same time when you have this biological weapon that destroys our economy, and that's the real crisis. And then you have Kim Jong-un disappearing, and they're going to put somebody in who's tougher. You know, keep in mind North Korea is China's junkyard dog.
Right.
You know, it's what they use to antagonize us. Then you have Russia and Iran antagonizing us on the water and in the air. Then you have Russia and Saudi Arabia flooding our markets with free oil in order to destroy our energy industry. And we were energy independent. So they're trying to destroy our energy industry by flooding us with free oil and bankrupting our oil companies in America. and Donald Trump should really boycott all foreign oil.
Absolutely.
And I tried to call him. He won't pick up the phone.
Well, I have his direct dial, so maybe I'll give him a call and tell him for you.
All right, thank you.
And he also listens to the show. We do have to leave it there, CV. But thank you so much for joining us today. Tell everybody where they can find out a little bit more about you.
Go to freedomondeck.com. Everything is there.
Absolutely.
And, join the Freedom on Deck club and support us. And we support Zan, and Zan supports us, and we're all one big happy family.
We sure are. And we're working for the same aims, which kind of makes it a lot easier. Listen, thank you so much for coming on the show, CV. Have a great weekend. Don't let the lockdown drive you too crazy, and we'll speak to you again very soon.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Take care. That was CV Berton from Freedom on Deck. Make sure you check out Freedom on Deck this weekend. Well, I know one of the guests is my first guest tonight, Chet Martin. He's the host. Mark Sutherland. So make sure you check that out this weekend. Now, I had your fill of the Gibster. You can catch me on the Real Side later, 7 Pacific, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, and 3 a.m. in the UK. So grab a cup of tea, a huge cup of tea, bigly cup of tea, and stick around. That's all we have time for, folks. Thanks for joining us, and we will be back next Friday, same time, 3 Pacific, 5 Central, 6 Eastern, and 11 in the UK with Kelly Wilde and Deborah Hamilton. Stay safe out there. And thanks to everybody in the live feed. I really do love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.
It has been good to me this time around. Things were bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact, and I can find no ribs. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and eras don't dictate.
Click the bell button and subscribe to keep up with the Xander Gibb Show. Oh yes, sirree.